Hi there, it's Jen from modernmedicinelady.com and the Empathic Woman System. And the word of the day is how. As in, how do I do this? How do I go after joy? How do I let go of worry when there is so much suffering going on in this world? How do I give myself permission to have fun and to feel joy when there is so much suffering and misery going on in this world? And what I've noticed is that when I'm going through a time where there is a lot of stuff going on in the world, as a highly sensitive, empathic person, I can get distracted by the emotions of other people. I can really, really get pulled in and feel incredibly aware of all of the challenges and the suffering and the crises that are happening around me. And that can really pull me out of my center. It can pull me out of my heart, and it can pull me away from my truth. And it can get me into a place where I am feeling fear and worry. And what I have noticed is that in those times, I have to come back to square one. I have to go back to the real basics and just really, really keep it simple as I return to what really matters. And so I'll share my how with you. My how is that when I notice that I'm starting to spin out, that when I notice that I'm starting to feel anxious or scared or worried or indignant, that's a really big one for me, where I start getting angry, and especially if I notice I'm getting judgmental or I'm blaming other people, that is when I recognize I'm starting to lose my own center and I'm getting ungrounded. And so what I do is I ask myself, Jen, what's the bottom line? And then I remind myself and I remember that the bottom line for me is loving kindness. And that so much so that I actually have the word metta tattooed on my wrist to remind me on a daily basis that the most important thing is loving kindness. And so I ask myself that question. And I remind myself that kindness and also my connection to the divine is what's the most important thing to me. And then I follow up with a question, and what do you do? And I answer myself, I breathe, and I take in a breath, and I reconnect with that kindness and that divine spark. So my question to you right now is, what's your bottom line? What really matters to you? What do you fundamentally know to be true about the best things in this universe, about the goodness of this place? What is your bottom line? And what do you do? How do you bring yourself back to your own center? How do you find your way? Now, breathing is the key for me, and remembering what matters is my key. And putting my hand right over my heart and breathing into my heart, breathing into that divine connection and into that loving kindness, and then breathing it back out into the world, that's what helps me to come back. That's what reminds me of what matters. And that's what gives me that ability to come back to that first step, that square one, and leads me back to, oh yeah, that's what this is all about. So I'd love to hear what works for you, what your how is, what your bottom line is, and just leave a comment below. And if you haven't already done it, please go like my Facebook page, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also, if you're curious about where you fall on the empathy spectrum, you can go take my What's Your Empathic Type quiz at empathicwoman.com. So, until next word of the day, I am wishing you peace and ease, and also the ability to truly recognize and remember what your bottom line is. So, until tomorrow, peace.